All right, everybody. Well, welcome to our Tuesday call for help. Appreciate you taking some time out of your schedule. We're going to share with you a quick kind of training overview, just some tips and hints on how to kind of help you if you have anyone who's a business or an organization, a church, any organization that has members, customers, clients, supporters, constituents, donors, you name it. We're going to talk to you a little bit about how you can actually work with them in a compliant way, so that they can, market to their constituents, their clients, their customers, and bring them aboard and create an additional income stream while bringing tremendous value to their existing client base. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. If you have any kinds of questions, feel free to put them into the chat. We will get to just open forum kind of Q&A at the conclusion of the quick training that we're going to do here. So again, thanks for being here. And let's first talk about a couple things that are coming up, and are happening right now. I mean, we're in major swing right now with what's happening with Texas. So we have our summer promotion in place right now that goes through the end of this month. Again, personally enroll a new advisor. You can earn up to $2,000 by enrolling one energy advisor and helping them get batches of 5 customers. For every 5 customers, up to 100 customers, you will earn $100. So they're going to earn, you're going to earn. And there's examples of how you can do that. I'm not going to get into too many details on that. We do have our Hawaii Leadership Summit, which we're going to be, you can see my background there. We want as many people going on this trip as possible. And there are multiple ways to get onto it: by promoting, by being one of the top 2 directors, by promoting to regional director or above, or with our Texas launch, and Texas is in full swing right now. There's a new flyer that came out in the back office. If you haven't seen it, it's the Texas launch flyer. You're looking at it right here. Fantastic. It's just tremendous. Gives you the territories where we are, the utilities, and our rates, and what the average rates are in those territories as well. So lots of great stuff happening here in Texas. And along with Texas, we have some promotions revolving around that leadership trip to Hawaii. And so anyone, you don't have to be in Texas, but anyone in Think Energy who comes aboard new or is existing, has been here already, if you hit the rank of director in 2023, you hit director, and you have a minimum of 400 Texas team customers. So your TC, your team customer count, is 400 from the state of Texas, and you are a director, you're going to go on that trip. You don't have to compete against anyone. You don't have to be in the top category or anything like that. If you do it, you're going on the trip. It's open to all current and new energy advisors. There are going to be a ton of people from Texas and people who are working through contacts that they have in Texas on this trip. Plain and simple, it is what's happening. And one of the big reasons it's happening is because from now through October 31st, we just launched an Open Texas today. Now through October 31st, 90 days, you will get 1 point, 1 TC/PC for a band 1 customer, 2 TC/PC or PCTC points for band 2, and 3 PCTC or points for band 3. And what we know for a fact is that there are a lot of band 2 customers. Probably the majority of the customers in Texas are band 2, the way the bands are set up. And so you can quickly rank up. And, if you look at that 400 team customer requirement to go director and get 400 team customers from Texas, well, that could really only be maybe 150, 130, 150 to 200 customers, because most of those customers will have 2 points and maybe even more. So it's very easy to rank up very quickly and get on this trip. I mean, it's going to be a lot of people. We're going to take over whatever resort is going to be there. It's going to be exciting. And so very excited about that. Some upcoming launch tour events. We don't have the dates, the locations in place or which city and when, but 3 days in a row: Tuesday, September 19th, Wednesday the 20th, Thursday, September 21st, we will have Texas launch tour events with corporate and field leadership there as well. So what I want to talk to you about, this next topic, this is one that I love. And it's one that when we set up this compensation plan, we made it in such a compensation plan that someone who comes aboard and doesn't really build a team right out of the gate, or maybe they never do, can they make money doing this? Is there enough juice in the compensation plan to just come aboard and make money by acquiring customers? And the answer is yes. Because we've put $1 to $3 residual into acquiring your own customers, so that residually it's very lucrative to bring in customers. And then there's also the customer acquisition bonuses for every single customer that comes in, regardless of when they come in. It's not like timed bonuses. There's no countdown clock. Every time a customer comes in, there's a customer acquisition bonus paid out to the person or organization or company or whatever that brings that in, whatever advisor brings that customer in. And so we have this very powerful platform that we've set up, which now quickly, it's started right out of the gate. There are businesses and churches and organizations and nonprofits and fundraising organizations that are now gravitating toward our opportunity here at Think Energy, at Think Plus, because of how lucrative it can be. And because of the value proposition that we're bringing to our customers. It's a no cost program. This is a no cost. It doesn't cost anything to be a customer. And in every single state except for Texas, there's no cancellation fees. And we have these long-term affordable fixed rates, the ability to go out and earn free energy by making referrals, the rainforest protection features. We have all of these things, and then all the other benefits that are out there, as well. So we have a lot of 100% clean energy. You have all of these factors. And so it makes it very easy for, a company, let's call it let's say an insurance agency or a realty company, or an oil and propane delivery company, or a roofing company, or somebody that has a landscaping business with residential and small commercial clients. Anyone who has clients, window companies, companies that, plow your driveway in the winter, that all the different things that are there. With companies that have lots and lots of clients. This could be like for car mechanics, they have lots of clients. Could be for restaurant owners, they have lots of clients. So when you think about this, it's an easy way for businesses to remonetize their clients and bring in a new added benefit to their company, to their core career, their core, what they offer in their core profession, and do it in such a way that the public likes it, because we're helping them arguably on a financial situation in their house by helping them to get budget certainty, price certainty, with community solar, helping them to get long-term savings for up to 20 years. So there are companies that have gravitated toward this and are now in effect doing this, and they're doing it in a big way, and it's happening in a big way. And if you hit the right company that sees the vision of what we're doing here, and they like this product and this service, they're going to do very well with this. And so we had on our call recently, we had Rosie and Mark from Citizens Oil, and they were on our state of the company call. And the reason they were on there is because they became advisors. They have clients with their oil company that they've had for many years. They have their emails and they know the phone numbers and names of these people. They have existing relationships with their clients. And they came into Think Energy and they decided, you know what, we want to market to our existing client base. Now, again, this could be a church community. It could be a fundraising organization. It could be an insurance agency, a business. It could be anything, a sports team, whatever it wants to be, whatever you want to do with it. But the point is that they came aboard as advisors, and then they sought out the information and the processes to be able to do this. And one of the things they did is they contacted EA support and compliance to create, an email, a marketing email that would be acceptable to send out to their clients. I'm going to show you it in just a second. Now, what I'm going to tell you is that it took some time for them to create this and boil it down. We're going to give this to you as a guideline so that you can go out and do it. But it's not the type of thing where you can just take this email that I'm going to show you what they created and just use it, because You have to get individual approval from corporate, from compliance, to be able to do what Rosie and Mark have done with Citizens Oil. All right, so let's just keep that in mind. They're going to want to know certain things like who you're going to be marketing, what type of business you are, where the people are that you're going to be marketing to. Do you have a way to have them unsubscribe from your marketing list? They're going to want to know which territories, like which utility sectors you're going to be emailing this out to, because each state and or utility company will have different types of disclaimers that need to be put on the bottom. And so to maintain compliance, you can't just use this in its form. Okay, you can use it as an example and go and get your own approval. So I want to be clear on that, because there's a lot of things that need to be done for compliance, and you don't want to get in trouble and get terminated, and you don't want to put the company at risk either. So let's take a look at what Rosie and Mark created. And I'll tell you, we have the 3-minute video. I'm going to post it up on our YouTube channel. We have a link to it on Vimeo as well. We took the Rosie and Mark's 3-minute interview from that call where they detailed a little bit about what they're doing and how they're doing it. And we'll have that posted on YouTube today. It's already on Vimeo. And so we'll put that up into our Telegram channel and get that out. So now let's take a look at what they did. This is just a simple email that they send out to business relationships, family, and friends, people they already know, they already have a relationship with. You cannot send this out and mass market to lists of people you don't know. That is not allowed and not compliant. So it just says a new exciting electric offer, and then, ABC company or who organization or whatever it is now an independent energy advisor of Think Plus Energy. So they put that in there. It looks great, right? They made a quick announcement. And then it's all just bullet points, straight to the point. Long-term fixed competitive rates, free energy club to allow members to get monthly cash rebates, 100% renewable energy, no early termination fees. Now, again, this is market specific. In Texas, you wouldn't be able to say no early termination fees because everyone in Texas has an early termination fee, not just Think Energy. And then Think Energy is partnered with One Tribe to protect the rainforest. See how simple this is and so concise? Compare rates or sign up now, and you have your link in there, and then you have your phone number in there for any questions. And again, there's a disclaimer that has to go in this. So you can kind of use whatever background kind of you want. They just used a simple background here. But the point is that you have this available to you, and you have the ability to go through compliance and get this set up. If you have a business that joins as an advisor, a church that joins as an advisor, an organization that wants to come aboard, we'll be working on fundraising programs as we go, as we get further down the road too, and have ways to do that. But this is a great way to remonetize, bring a new revenue stream with a new offer to your clients. I mean, when you sit there and think about it, if it makes sense for big companies to diversify, doesn't it make sense for everyone to diversify? Whether it's individuals going out and adding Think Energy as you become an advisor, you're working a regular job or a core career or profession, it makes sense to do Think Energy on a part-time basis. So it makes sense for an oil company or an insurance agency or a restaurant to do it. We have restaurant owners that have gone through COVID, the COVID phase of their business, and they stayed in business and somehow got through it. And then what they did is during that COVID time, they switched over to a delivery system, because everybody was having food delivered mostly at that time. And they had thousands of people in their local area become clients of theirs for delivery. Now they have their email, they have their phone number, they know the address where they live. They can send something out via email or send it out via mail or whatever way that, Think Energy and compliance allow them to. But we have restaurant owners that are now marketing this service to their thousands of customers that ordered food from them because they already have an existing relationship with them and they're moving forward. In the case of Rosie and Mark, I think they've brought in like 300 to 400, I think 400 customers at this point. And they're in Connecticut, and we just opened in Connecticut like a month ago or so, something like that. So this can be significant. They've created a $400 residual income for themselves. And they're going to end up bringing in thousands and thousands of customers because they have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of business relationships. And so just want to put that out there. We'll have this sample up on our site so that people can get it in our Google Drive. Again, this is not something that you can just take it and use it and start marketing. You need to get individual permission so that Think Energy knows who you're mailing it out to. You need to get it emailed in writing to you, like via email, that you've been approved to do this. So you have to go through the process, but if you do it, it can be an absolute home run, and it'll allow you to approach people in a different way, in a way that you never thought possible with other opportunities, because you can approach a business owner to talk to them about monetizing or remonetizing their client base. Just incredible what we have here. I mean, we have communities, we have solar companies that are rooftop solar companies out there that are using this now. They've become advisors and they're marketing to their clients that couldn't get solar or wanted to get discounts on their electricity bill and wanted to get solar, but 90% of them that they met with couldn't qualify. The roof didn't face the right way, wrong substructure, their credit wasn't good enough, they just didn't like the way it looked, whatever it was, for too many trees in the area. And now they're able to market this to those clients that they've already met with, who were never clients for them. And now they are, because we have a bona fide way to get them long-term price certainty or long-term savings with community solar. So that's the tips for the day. Wanted to share that with you guys. It's very exciting when you have this kind of a platform. So now let's just kind of shift gears a little bit, not really, but feel free, if you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand. I will make it so that people can unmute themselves in a sec. I'm going to get to chat as well. So appreciate that. Let's see. Yes, help is needed. Thank you for these jump starts. Coach Francie, thank you. What is the EFT? Bruce, let's see. Bruce, what is the early termination fee in Texas? It starts out at $200. It could be more than that, depending on what their, utility check looks like what we do a soft check of their utilities and how they pay their bills kind of thing. But for 85% of the customers in Texas, they're not going to have to pay like a deposit to come aboard, but everyone in Texas will have an early termination fee. So it's $200. How long would it be before they get it back? Okay. So that's the early termination fee. The early termination fee is like if you become a Think Energy customer and then you leave before the end of your 3-year term, there will be a $200 early termination fee in the state of Texas. Now, if you're talking, Bruce, it sounds like you're kind of like mixing this up a little bit, like possibly you're talking maybe about the deposit. Like if 85% of our customers that go through the quick soft check don't get 85% don't have to pay a deposit at all to become our customer. The other 15% roughly will, and they'll pay a $200. It starts out at $200. It could be more than that, but it's pretty much going to be right around the $200 range for almost all customers, I think, from what I've heard. But that $200 deposit, how long would it be before they get that back, I think is your question. So that would be, the deposit. A deposit is something you give, and then at the termination of your, the end of your term, that's when you'll get it back. I mean, that's generally how it works. So I'm expecting it to be, a deposit that you put down and you get it back at the end of the term. That's what I'm expecting it to be. We may find out more about that as we venture in, and maybe they may adjust that as they go and say, hey, for people who are, good customers and paying their bills on time and things like that, maybe they might be able to do something. But from what we heard, this is not something where you make the deposit and it stays there and you get it back at the end of your term. That's basically what my understanding of it is. There could be more to that. And, I'm sure there will be more to that as we go. Bob, thank you for your time and energy on these and the other calls. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. We're having fun here, Bob, definitely. So let me make it so that people can unmute themselves. And I know we had a couple of people raise their hands. So let's start out with Steve. Steve, I don't know if you can unmute yourself.
I think I did.
Okay. All right, Steve, how are you?
Good. I got a few questions for you.
All right.
First, going back to the business sample that you gave us, was that used as an email or a postcard or both, or do you know?
It was used as, it can be used as both.
Okay, it was okay.
Yep. I believe they've used it as both. I know most of it was just electronic email, but if they couldn't get somebody via email, they could certainly send it out via postcard.
Okay. And can you refresh my memory as to the process of getting somebody registered as an EA with their business? I know I did it for myself, but it was a while ago and I don't remember exactly what I did.
Yeah, absolutely. So the process for bringing a business aboard as an energy advisor, it's basically like this. You can sign up as your business name and you can put your personal name in there. It really doesn't matter what you put in there. We need an individual, a person, to go in and sign up as an advisor so that they can then go through the compliance training and go through the background check. So it has to be a person, whether it's a manager of the business or the business owner, doesn't matter. We need someone that can get background checked. We can't do a background check on a business. We can only do a background check on an individual. Then after the person, the manager or owner, or whoever they want to assign to that business to become the advisor, so to speak, once that position, that energy advisor position, starts making money, and then that, an email goes out to that person or whoever's registered with that account. And at that point, they have to set up a Pay Quicker account.
Right.
Now, the Pay Quicker account can be the individual who is signed up there with their name that went through the compliance and background check, or it can be the business using their EIN number to claim those funds. So that's what most businesses are doing. They have an individual sign up. You can put the business name in there if you want at the beginning, that's fine. But the business claims the money after it gets earned. And that's when they put their EIN number in and how they want to get paid. And that's how they get taxed and get, a 1099 at the end of the year.
So does the person who, is there any restrictions then on who's talking to the customers? If they call in for questions or something like that?
It would be the person.
That EA?
Yeah, it would be the person who's that EA. Yep, that's who it would be.
That's what I figured. Okay.
Yep, absolutely.
And then one last question about Texas. Yep. Is there a special training we have to go through for that? I don't know if I've missed something.
You didn't miss anything. We're able to just do it right away. There's going to be, and they're going to add it to the regular certification. They're going to add a Texas market overview, just like we have a small overview for each of the states. And then there's questions at the end. So that will be incorporated into our training as we go. So it'll just appear in the back office. And at some point, I think, everybody will have to kind of go through and maybe answer a couple questions. Maybe Texas doesn't require it. I mean, because look, Texas, it's kind of like wide open, they're fully deregulated there. Yeah. So it's a little different, different story than the other markets that are partially deregulated. So, we're able to just, based on our regular certification that we already did, we're able to start, working in Texas, right out of the gate. So.
Good. Thanks.
All right. So yeah, expect something to pop up, soon. I was just on a call with John Breitbart and corporate, and he was talking about that. Hey, we're going to have a market overview for Texas. But right now we've got the Texas overview that they did on the state of the company call, or the Texas market launch call, I should say. So all the slides were there, and then we posted them up in the Telegram channel as well as on our Google Drive. So. Got it. And I think they just uploaded them into the back office as well. So I think the Texas slides are there now.
Okay. Great.
All right.
Thanks.
All right, Steve. All right. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. All right. Let's see who's next. I think we have Eric. Eric, go right ahead. I think I made it so you can unmute.
I can hear. Hey, Tony.
Hey, what's up, Eric?
Not too much.
Right.
So here in Maine, as you know, solar farms are going live. I'm getting a ton of questions. I did email Steve Condon, but have not heard back, and it's been a few days.
Okay.
So people have gone live, and it's been approximately 2 weeks since they got the email saying that they went live.
Yep.
They received their bill from CMP. for that portion.
Yep.
I've heard different scenarios. We should receive an email from Think. I heard 7 to 10 days from when we received it from CMP. Is that right? Or is it 7 to 10 days from the time your bill is due at CMP?
Okay, so just to give you an idea, it's not an exact thing yet. Okay, so the expectation is we'll have a time frame for that once we kind of go through the process. So right now, in order for Think Energy, so the CMP customers in Maine that are on community solar, they've received a bill from CMP that is highly discounted. It doesn't have any of their delivery or supply. It's basically like their service charges and taxes. So it's somebody who had a $200 electric bill might have paid $25 this month or something like that.
Yeah, it's about
Yeah.
$16.
Yeah, 16. There you go, even lower. So now they're waiting. They're saying, okay, where's my Think Energy bill? I've been welcomed to the farm because Think Energy sent me a notification that I am now live on the farm. So now the next step is CMP now has to send Think Energy all of the data for the delivery and supply portion of the bill. They have to send that to Think Energy. Once Think Energy receives that, then they will then notify the customer, here's what your Think Energy bill will be for the supply and delivery minus the discounts from the solar farm. And then at that point, they'll tell them you'll have this many days, in this many days after we send this to you, you'll be charged on your ACH, your debit card, your credit card, whatever it would be. So that's the process. Okay. Now, the data from CMP that could potentially come later, it could come like a couple weeks from now or a week from now or 2 weeks from now or 3 weeks from now. So that's where we are with it right now. So we're just waiting for that time frame for the first time for CMP to send it. And then they can kind of gauge, okay, now we can figure out what the regularity of the bill with the discounts is going to be from Think Energy. But no one is going to be charged by Think Energy without them knowing. They first have to receive an email from Think with all of the CMP data in it about their bill with the discount. And then after that, they'll, in that email, it'll tell them we're going to process the payment like a week or 10 days later to give people time in case they need to make sure they have money in their account. If there's any questions that they have that they want to get answered before the payment is processed and all that. So that's basically where we are right now. So you just have to tell your customers, hey, sit tight. We're going through the first ever process with this, and then we'll get a regular schedule, kind of as we go.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Tony. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny you asked that because we were just talking about that with Steve Condon and on our corporate call today. So that's why it's top of mind for me right now. So
yeah, a lot of people are asking, so it's good.
Oh, sure. I know it. The first thing they look at is, wow, my $16 electric bill. Wow, this Think Energy community solar discount of 10%. Boy, it looks like it's more like 90%, but it's not. We will catch up on the other part of the billing, as soon as CMP starts providing that data to us.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people were worried, that they would take it out without them knowing and stuff. And
yeah,
I said that won't happen.
No, that's definitely not going to happen. They have to first, we can't even take anything out until we know what we have to take out, and we don't even know that yet.
Okay. And they will know the amount as well before it's taken out, right?
Oh yeah. Yep. They'll have they'll get a bill from Think with all the details on it and the amount and a date for when it's going to get processed.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, you got it. Appreciate that. Let's see. I think we have some other people in the chat here. So let's see. Glenn and Cynthia, can I set up a table in my friend's restaurant with Think Energy flyers? Absolutely. And will Texans keep their electric company with an insert for Think Energy as provider? So so in Texas, when you switch to a new provider, you get Think Energy as your electric company. Think Energy sends the bill, does everything. So will Texans keep their electric company with an insert for Think Energy as energy provider? So nope, they'll be charged by Think. Texas is fully deregulated, so they will definitely, be charged. The billing will be done only by Think Energy after they become a Think Energy customer in Texas. So different than the other markets where, you know, there's just a supply portion of the bill. They keep their regular utility company. There is no incumbent local utility provider in Texas. You actually choose who your provider is, not just who your supplier is. All right. So hope that helps out, Glenn and Cynthia. Ed, glad to provide a comment if you like. Hey, I would love that if you're still on, Ed. Feel free to raise your hand, or I can maybe find you on here. If I can find you, I'm not sure if you're still here, but I'll ask you to unmute. Go right ahead. You can unmute anytime.
Hey, Tony, thanks for bringing up the conversation.
Yeah.
We helped Rosie kind of get things warmed up, and they're showing a lot of success. So if one of the advisors can identify a firm that has a significant influence, that has a business relationship and likely an email list that they're comfortable with marketing electricity, it worked well for this organization. So do require a little bit of effort to go through compliance to get it precisely approved for their organization. That's extremely critical, what you brought up. And the Citizens Oil Cooperative, they help folks negotiate their oil and propane. So it was a complementary concept for their clients, and it seems to work out quite well. So they're doing nicely.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know you were intimately involved in the process of getting them, through the, compliance and all. How long did you think, how many back and forths, or how long do you think it took for Rosie and Mark to kind of get that program in place and implement it?
I think it was a week or two, so it went back and forth. It was the earlier of the approvals. So the team over at the EA Support and the legal group there, we're, back and forth, a little, conservative. We were back and forth on a few words here and there in the disclosure. So give it a little time. Don't be anxious. They want to get it right. It's got to be right, and get it perfect.
Yeah, definitely. Well, no, I appreciate it, because you and Rosie and Mark have done a lot of the heavy lifting here for everybody else by, by doing that and getting that approved. And now we kind of have a little bit of a template that people can, go and apply. They don't have to start over from scratch. They can kind of use that as their own template to move forward. So
we hope so. So good luck. Find the right company with the right, goals. I think it could work out well for a lot of advisors.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks so much, Ed, for that, and for everything that you're doing. I know you're helping out corporate a lot with a lot of compliance work and a lot of other things on the advisory side. So I know Mike Falquist just speaks volumes about you, as well as I do. I mean, I've known you for years as well. We've worked together, and so I appreciate all your help and going the extra mile to make this opportunity, as good as it can possibly be here.
And corporate sponsored a renewable energy plus community solar. So they're actively looking on bringing on more community solar projects, and that's in the queue. So stay tuned.
All right, fantastic.
Thanks,
all right,
guys.
Ed, thank you. I appreciate it. All right, let's see. Let's see if we have any other questions in here. Let's see. So Larry, good afternoon, Tony. Well, good afternoon to you. Zoom user, do you have to be EA compliance before you sign up your business first? You have to go and become an energy advisor and go through compliance, go through certification and get your background check done. And then you can, you can do whatever you want at that point. Can you be an advisor individually and again through your business? No, you're not allowed to, according to the terms and policies, which you can get on the back office. And anywhere, you can get them anywhere through the Think Plus site. You cannot have ownership or a stake in more than one position in the company. So you can't like sponsor yourself, so to speak. So definitely, that's a good question. I appreciate that. Let's see, we have any other questions? I have Kevin. Kevin, I think I've made it so you can unmute yourself.
Hi, thank you. Can you hear me?
All right. I can, Kevin. How are you?
All right, good, thank you. I missed a little bit in the middle, so forgive me if this has been covered. So if you were to sponsor a nonprofit, as I read from what I have heard so far, you would want some sort of director type some executive from that nonprofit to then get approved as an EA, sign themselves up as a business using a business name perhaps. And from there, that nonprofit would be free to say, email their existing customer base or have meetings and try to get any of the people that are involved with that nonprofit to sign up as a possible money-making avenue for that nonprofit. Does that sound right?
Yeah, it's similar to what it is. I'll just recap it. So the nonprofit that wants to come aboard and become an energy advisor, if they can and if they want to, then that's fine. They can. There's nothing that stops. We're not going to stop them from doing it. They would pick one person at their organization to sign up as an energy advisor. Okay. That person would go through and do the certification. So call this person the manager of their EA advisor account for the nonprofit. That manager would do the certification, would go through the background check. Once that's complete, they can start marketing. The nonprofit can start marketing through that EA advisor, that manager. They can use that position to start marketing. They'd have to go through compliance and get everything done. And then once that position starts earning, the nonprofit would claim that money through the Pay Quicker account. So they don't have to sign up again as another advisor. It's all done through one.
Right. So essentially
Yep.
it works like an individual advisor, but in this case, there's a head of organization at the nonprofit.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's it. And they can go
yeah.
through and do their own compliance. And,
Yeah.
for nonprofits, it's great. I mean, it's beautiful. We've seen nonprofits, do things like, hey, we're holding a fundraiser, but we're not asking you for any money and we're not selling anything. Like, in fact, we're putting money back into your pocket, or we're, helping you long-term with your electricity costs. And in the process, we make money. It's like that kind of thing. So with a nonprofit, it becomes really cool because you can kind of, not the angle, but the truth of the matter is they're raising funds for their nonprofit by helping people with their energy bills.
Exactly. Okay. Well, thank you, Tony.
Yeah, you got it. Great question. I appreciate that. All right, let's see. I think we have Steve. You have another question, Steve?
I do have another question.
All right.
The compliance review is really only necessary for like a bulk email or bulk direct mail piece. If you have somebody who's like got an Etsy shop or something like that, if they're not doing a bulk email to their whole list, but they're just individually talking to the customers that they've got, they don't have to go through this type of compliance, right?
Yeah, right. It's designed for businesses that have, a decent amount of customers or organizations that are getting on the larger side. I mean, technically you could argue, that, yeah, everybody should have some kind of compliant thing that they're sending out via email, and they should make sure they're saying the right thing. I mean, that's the essence of the terms and policies kind of somewhat state that. So, I always just tell people, if you're going to be sending something out via email that can be sent around, it can be forwarded to other people, you want to protect yourself. So just, maybe doesn't have to go through compliance, but you might want to send it to EA support at least and say, hey, I'm sending this out. I just want to let you guys know that I'm sending this out just in case they see something wrong with it. But if it's kind of like you're keeping it real simple, like, hey, check out my, like as if you were asking somebody to do you a favor, a friend or family member, somebody you're close with. Hey, do me a favor. I started a business in the energy sector to, help me achieve my goals. And the favor is, if it's not going to cost you anything and it's not going to inconvenience you at all, but it'll help you long-term with your energy costs, would you try out my service? If you're keeping it to something like that and then just putting your link in there in an email, it's great. Or maybe it's just like, hey, I just did this and you should too, and here's my link. That's not something that you necessarily have to go through compliance for. But when you're creating like bullet points and you're actually explaining something through your email, instead of using a corporate approved flyer that you're going to send out to your friends or to your business people, that's something that you're creating on your own. You have to get that approved. So it's kind of like, that's where I draw the line. If you're creating a marketing flyer, a marketing piece, a marketing email on your own,
Yeah.
using words that are not the flyer
Right.
that's already approved in the back office, then, then you kind of have to get that approved.
Yeah.
If you want to copy and paste the flyer into your email and put your link at the bottom, you don't need approval for that. It's already approved.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Good. Thanks.
All right. So I hope that helps out. All right. I think we've, boy, we had some great questions here. Appreciate everybody being here. Thanks to Steve and Bruce and all the other people who, and Ed for chiming in. I appreciate that. Let me make sure I'm not missing anybody or missing anything, but thanks Zoom user and Larry and Glenn and Cynthia. I appreciate that. And Bob, everybody have a great one. Coach Francie, looks like we've got through the questions, so we'll let you get back to your day. Thanks for being here. Let's put this into play, use it where you can, you guys. Everybody have a good one. Texas is all online and ready to rock moving forward. Advisors are coming in, lots of things speeding up. Look for in the back office something new in the next day or two, maybe today, maybe tomorrow. We're going to be shifting away from the email that needs to be sent to a new advisor for background check, the shareables for hire thing that people look for. And we're actually going to be parking that in the back office. How about that? So that's coming, I think, today. So look for that. That way people can sign up as a new energy advisor and go in and do their certification and their background check right in the back office without having to look for an email or find anything. One step, gone, making things faster, speeding things up dramatically for us. So, hey, it gets better all the time. So everybody have a great day. This is Tony Procopio from New Fairfield, Connecticut. Over and out. We'll talk to you soon.